AITAH for watching intimate photos of my late husband and I. My boyfriend accused me of cheating. I am not the oop. Oop is you. Throw a pillowcase. AITAH for watching intimate photos of my late husband and I. My boyfriend accused me of cheating. Originally posted to our AITAH. Trigger warning. Death of a spouse. Grieving. Accusations of emotional infidelity. Less than. Original post January 1st, 2023. Recovered with raw Reddit. My boyfriend, 35M, and I, 34F, have been seriously dating for 3 years, and eventually want to settle down and marry. My late husband and I were together since college and had a very loving and passionate relationship. Until he was torn away from me in a freak accident 8 years ago. I have mostly moved on, but still miss him terribly some days. I do not compare my now boyfriend with him, because both have a really special place in my heart. My boyfriend is sensitive to this loss of mine, and I have been in therapy, and he accepts my late husband as one of the greatest loves I have ever experienced. My late husband and I used to always have an intimate night together on New Year's, and last night I was terribly missing him again. He had gifted me a pillowcase he customized for me made of satin, and I lie down with it whenever I want to feel close to him. It's just how I cope. So last night when my boyfriend was watching TV, we came back recently from a vacation, so did not go to any parties. I went to my room, hugged the pillow, and opened my hard drive that had our photos. I had opened that file after so long. I almost forgot I also had NSFW stuff in there, which I wanted to relive. I did not want to delete our intimate photos of us in the bathtub, our honeymoon and wedding nights, some naked cuddling, because those are special to me. However, those were not outright sex tapes. My boyfriend called me to help fix something, and I shut my laptop, not realizing what was on it. Edit. I think I have to make it clear I was not getting any sexual enjoyment from those photos and videos. And nor was I jerking off. Those were simply sweet romantic photos with a touch of intimacy. For example, a photo of us cuddling in the sheets. Just invaluable moments of a married couple. It was more of a comfort thing to me than a sex thing, and special to me, and meant only for mine and hubby's eyes. My boyfriend went to get equipment from the storeroom. This was mine and my husband's place originally, and I sensed alarm in his voice. When I rushed in, he was questioning what the heck I was doing browsing through those photos, and why did I see a use in keeping such intimate media with a former partner? I tried to laugh it off. I smiled sheepishly because at first I thought he was going to tease me about it, like if your partner caught you jerking off would. However, when I realized how hurt he was, he simply didn't let me say anything. He genuinely felt hurt and betrayed, and accused me of cheating on him, and told me that I can sleep with him in his grave. I felt that was crossing the line and wanted to scream my head off, but kept calm. My boyfriend never had such a reaction to me missing him before, and I can see why my actions hurt him, but to accuse me of cheating on him feels super wrong. He told me that he is breaking up with me and warned me not to contact him. He left my place, and I have no idea how to talk to him. AITAH? How do I get him back? TLDR. My late husband passed away 8 years ago, and I've been dating my current boyfriend for 3 years. I still miss my late husband and cherish the memories we shared, but also deeply love my current boyfriend. Last night, I unintentionally left my laptop open with intimate photos of my late husband and me, including some NSFW images. My boyfriend saw them and felt betrayed, accusing me of cheating, and abruptly broke up with me. I'm heartbroken and unsure how to reach out or make amends to get him back. Update January 1st, 2024. Recovered with raw Reddit. Hi everyone. I am here with a very quick Not so great update now. He had left my place last night at around 9 p.m. after breaking up with me. And I had posted my bit in the evening a day after that. While I was still processing the breakup. Maybe I was just looking for validation or trying to unhealthily vent here and found it therapeutic. No matter what response I got. Now, I truly realize how hurt he must have felt. So maybe an hour into posting this, when it was around 7 p.m., my boyfriend finally called me back asking to meet. I thought we could have a conversation about it and make up. He, however, didn't intend that. When we met, I asked if we could get back together, offering to remove those files from my laptop and transferring them into a USB drive, all photos. Even non-intimate ones, so I don't have an easy access to them. He told me he would ideally be in a relationship with someone who only had him in her heart, and he'd rather I get rid of my husband altogether, but it's unfair to me. He said he realized what he wants, and that is number one in someone's heart. He put up with a lot of stuff just because I am a widow and doesn't think he would date one again. It really hurt me when he told me that my action has damaged any trust in our relationship, and even if he wanted, he couldn't pretend. And what hurt me the most, he says he has lost feelings for me. He initially had finally decided he would propose to me by the end of the year, but now it's not in his plans. I was incredibly hurt and started bawling, but he wouldn't comfort me. He simply wished me the best and told me he hopes the memories of my husband keep me warm at night. Which I found petty and disrespectful AF, but was too stunned to say anything. A lot of people, by my inflammatory reactions, at first thought this was a rage bait. I don't blame you. I was merely trying to seek a vent and fighting a void in me. To those I have hurt here, I am sorry. I will take some more time to heal and aspire to be a better partner to my future boyfriend, husband. Relevant comments. Popular error 3691. Sorry. He was shown he will never be your number one. You literally said on your fist post your late husband will always be your greatest experience of love. Why would anyone want to compete with a dead man? He clearly put up with a lot from you and is over it. Oop. I had specifically mentioned he was one of the greatest loves in my life. I think it would be unfair to my husband and disrespectful to our marriage to deny what we had was real. Because of how great that love was. I genuinely wanted to experience it again. What my boyfriend and I had was also real. I wasn't using him as a crutch. What was meant to be a private moment of grief was given such an ugly spin. Popular error 3691. You were using him as a crutch. You say he put up with a lot from you being a widow over the years. You used this man to get by, but not over your issues, and he is done. Oop. I didn't wear my wedding ring on my finger. I didn't actively celebrate our days. And only went to the grave which he was uncomfortable with. I only went to his grave 34 times a year. And on those days, I wore the wedding ring as a chain. As to not offend him, but he still gave me the cold shoulder and would refuse to have sex with me while I was wearing it, so I eventually tried to stop myself. You can judge me how bad I treated my ex. But I assure you I didn't. I made him feel valued. Didn't talk much about my husband. And put effort in our relationship. What was meant to be a private moment of grief was subjected to an ugly spin. It's not even like we hadn't spent time together, we had just come back from a really nice vacation. And both wanted some quiet time alone. So I did what I felt was best in the moment. Other comments from Oop. Thank you. Some idiot here told me I was the devil for visiting his grave on our wedding anniversary. I am starting to lose faith in humanity. I'm sure some of what I did hurt him, and I will work on myself, but it's just stupid to pretend that grief is like a breakup. This was my husband who fucking died. So visiting my dead husband's grave on our wedding anniversary and his birthday is apparently offensive? I don't believe you for a second. You categorically lack empathy. This is a repost sub I am not the oop. Good lord, there were some extreme comments all around. Yikes. I hope the best for both of them. On another thread, someone said that dating a widow or widower can be extremely difficult because it's so easy to put the dead on a pedestal. They can, quite literally, do no wrong. They can be idealized and perfected in the surviving partner's memory, while in the meantime, the living are flawed human beings who can never compete with a made-up version of the perfect partner. That certainly seems to be the case here. So much therapy is needed here. I'm torn on this one. Normally I'm in the you got together with a widow, so how did you think things were going to go? Going to visit his grave. I get. Wearing the wedding ring, I actually get that too, although not to be crude during sex. I imagine the ring is physical reminder of the deceased spouse that is just kinda making itself known during sex. I guess I can kinda get why that is possibly unsettling. The pictures thing. She goes on to describe the pictures as intimate setting photos, but then says she expected her ex-BF to think of it like she was whacking off to porn, which kinda sounds like maybe the photos weren't as innocent as she indicated, or maybe it was because she was in bed holding the personalized pillow her husband had gotten her while looking at the photos. Either way, just a weird thought process to have. She just doesn't seem like she is ready to be on a relationship with someone. What he said was cruel, but as others said, it does sound like he hit the end of his rope, since she did say he had been very patient and understanding until then, with some issues about things. My boyfriend, 35M, and I, 34F, have been seriously dating for 3 years, and eventually want to settle down and marry. My late husband and I were together since college and had a very loving and passionate relationship, until he was torn away from me in a freak accident 8 years ago. Math time. Husband died when oop was 26. Longest case scenario. They were together for about 8 years. The same amount of time he's been deceased. I have concerns that she's not dealing with the grief quite as well as she presented. Imagine yourselves living with her for years. The grieving is constant. Therapy is constant. And you try hard to be the most important person on her life. You just returned from a trip where you felt really good as a couple and had decided to marry her. Then you got in her room and see that she prefers spending the last day of the year hugging his pillow while watching NSFW content of the late husband. The dude just realized that it doesn't matter what he do or what amount of time he spent on her. He will always be the second. Because even after a good moment, she will ever return to the same space and memories. What she do is expect the others to compromise their own feelings for her own sake. Like when she said that, I was there bawling out and he didn't conform me. Because his feelings don't matter to her, she never made the conscious decision of, I won't spend my night doing this because I have to accept that he's gone. Rather than that, I will spend my day with the person that I choose to stay by my side now. And her comments show other weird behavior, like wearing her ring while doing the deed. Basically, she wasn't ready at all for a new relationship. And the guy was so pissed that the reality imposed itself that unleashed the worst of himself. There's one line in this whole thing that sticks with me for some reason. I was incredibly hurt and started bawling, but he wouldn't comfort me. There's not one moment where she comforts and reassures him. It's all about what she needs and how much she misses her husband. And when she's sad, even though he's already told that it's over and he can't live with the ghost of her husband, she still expects him to comfort her in her grief. This was a guy who went to therapy to deal with the fact that his girlfriend is very clearly still grieving her loss, and that he's never going to be alone in her heart. She's doing things that people who have lost loved ones do. looking at photos and visiting his grave and being sad on special dates. But this guy caught his girlfriend looking at sexy pictures on New Year's Eve with another man. It might be innocent, but she chose to bring in the new year. The year her boyfriend was intending to propose. Looking at photos of her late husband. This doesn't feel like a one-off. This feels like a slow build that culminated in her boyfriend realizing that she'd rather spend New Year's looking at her late husband naked than with him. You gotta fix the date on the original post. I truly thought this lady waited a whole damn year to give us an update, loudly crying. I think people missed in the post and or comments, I can't remember, but he asked her to remove the chain when she was trying to be intimate with him, which quite frankly is absolutely reasonable. I didn't date for a long time after I lost my person in order to process and grieve. It's sorta like an abrupt breakup. And you really have to be purposeful and not drag others into your process. BC the potential for a situation like this is so high. And then you've caused pain plus you have additional pain. I get both sides here. Losing a loved one is hard and you can never truly let them go. However, it's perfectly understandable to not want to have sex or be intimate with someone while they wear the wedding ring of their dead spouse. And I can see how living in their house surrounded by things from their relationship would be mentally draining. Hot take. Widows and widowers have as much a responsibility in getting remarried as the people marrying them do. Just because you're grieving does not mean your new partner has to shut up and sleep with you whenever you want. They have a right to feel special. Maybe they aren't the first love, but they have a right to feel cherished and safe, like they are in their own home and their own relationship. I see so many posts like this. And yeah, a picture of your spouse who passed, fine and reasonable. But really? You need an in memoriam slideshow of them at your second wedding? You need the children named after them? If your grieving is so acute that you cannot be in a healthy, mutually fulfill relationship, you have a responsibility to not date. Just because you're lonely doesn't mean you're ready. I bet that guy did put up with a lot. Consistently said her husband, rather than late husband. That would hurt me in that scenario. What I think fails to realize is that when you're feeling bereft, your partner wants you to seek them out for comfort and solace. Not go off and have a one-on-one with memories of someone else. I would also refuse to have sex with someone if they wore their dead spouse's wedding ring, even as a necklace. Honestly, it sounds like she shouldn't be dating anyone. Mentioned she's been in therapy, but dang does she need more of it. I've seeked of it, actually. This lady has not moved on enough from her husband, which is totally understandable. I'd be devastated for many YRS. But a new person should have number one, always to keep him in her heart but not outwards. Hope you find peace. I was incredibly hurt and started bawling, but he wouldn't comfort me. He simply wished me the best and told me he hopes the memories of my husband keep me warm at night. Based. Unbelievably based. I love petty and this is chef's kiss. I'm willing to bet the house on him putting up with a lot of disrespectful things on her end, and this was the breaking point. The reasons not to ever take nudes and explicit videos just keep piling up. Breaking up relationships after you're dead isn't one that I would have thought of. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.